Alright, here we go. Hello everyone and welcome back. So today we are going to be playing WipEout and WipEout 2097. This may sound criminal, but I've actually never played a WipEout game to my recollection. So let's see how this goes. And it looks like we're not getting anything on the screen at the moment. Let me see what happened here. We reset and looks like my game didn't boot up. We'll try one more time. Oh, now I can hear the disc spinning. At least I thought I heard it spinning. Huh. A little bizarre. All right, no problem. Let's switch something out real quick. Not sure what kind of technical difficulties I'm having here. Okay, that works. So, here is WipEout 2097. Now, this game, if you don't already know, was released in Japan as WipEout XL. I almost thought that was the Nintendo logo. And we did get an American release on the PlayStation, but the Saturn version never made it over here to the States. It was in Japan and Europe, but not over here in the US. I've never watched this before, so let me just take a moment and watch this. And again, for quick reference, I am on the OSSC with 5X mode, and 5X mode seems to be doing just fine with this game. Let's see what my controls are. Thrust, fire. Okay. Thrust and fire. Music up, huh? All right. Preferences. Weapons on. Best times. So let's see, Race type team, class and track. An arcade or a time trial? Why don't we start with a time trial? And see what my team is. Aha! Different specs. Different stats. Got it. Okay. Turning ability, shield energy, aerodynamics, thrust, top speed. So this looks pretty balanced. I'll start with this for the time being, since I'm new to the game. Let's see. Kind of reminds me of Virtua Racing with this kind of 3D rendering here. Novice and Media Expert. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Hey, Peter. So, let's begin. And let's see what happens. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with my WipEout disc. I'm going to try. So I'm going to try something else after we run this game, because I want to show both games.
2, 1, go.
Well, there's a lot of momentum with the ships here when you're racing. I don't know whether it's a matter of learning the physics or if this is a game that I would recommend with the Saturn Racer. That may be the case here. Yeah, these physics feel very floaty. Can't stay off the wall here. And that, I imagine, is a speed boost, which, yeah, that looks about right. Holy crap, I'm all over the place here. And this is one game that I would say definitely benefits from scan lines, because there's a lot of dithering here that's being used instead of the traditional transparency. My scan lines, in case you're curious, are at 6%, so they're subtle. They're there, and you can just see them ever so slightly, but they are there. Oh, you press A to stop. Got it. Okay. So let's go to the menu and press up or down to change the pitch of the ship. With that said, Scott, I'm going to take your advice. Actually, those who are watching, you guys could probably help me if you leave something in the comments to guide me on what I'm doing here. So since we're at a time trial again, there's not a whole lot of pressure to do this correctly. The idea, more or less, is for me to get the hang of this. I'm pressing up and down per your advice, Scott. Tilt the nose forward or up. Boy, that's really punishing when you hit a wall there. You really lose your momentum. Now that makes it a little easier though when I'm tilting the nose down. Makes it a little better to control. Okay, now I'm feeling a little more comfortable with it. Keeping my nose down here, so as not to lose my control as much. Sorry, if it looks like I'm sucking, it's because I am. Ooh. Yeah, I'm certainly not used to the floaty physics here. Let's see if I can. Let me try one of the other ones. What was it that you recommended? Was it 5-star? I think that's what you said. So let's try the time trial again. Yeah, for those of you who haven't played it before, you can take feedback from me on how I'm handling it.
3, 2, 1, go.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, got it. Okay. Left and right for tighter turns when you brake. Oh. Man, it's a good thing I've never played this before. And if I had played this before and practiced a lot with screwing up, I'd be so disdainful of myself. At least I'm learning how it works. It's funny that you have a Ghost Racer, though, even though it's just the first time I'm playing this with this character. Yeah, there's some momentum here as far as clearing the corners that I haven't gotten the hang of yet. That is a little ridiculous, though, that they would give you a time limit on a time trial, well, I guess it's because it's a time trial, that makes sense, but... I wish there was a free mode that you can just keep racing infinitely. So, let's try the other ones and see how badly I do. Two, one, go. Yep, those boost squares are definitely helpful. Yeah, it would appear that the left and right shoulder buttons are more beneficial for turning. From so many racer games that I've played before, I'm used to using the D-pad almost exclusively, and then brake and accelerate accordingly. Yeah, floaty physics isn't something I've ever been accustomed to. Although some people, I've met people that flourish with these kind of controls, and me, it's like trying to regain my momentum off a trampoline. Yet somehow, amazingly, by some sort of miracle, I'm beating the ghost computer. Yep, there goes the computer again. Well, it's starting to feel better now that I have a better handle of what I'm doing here. I'm still not crazy about the floaty physics, though. Wonder how I'd do against the computer. Can't imagine I'd do so hot. All the same, though, it's a darn shame that we did get the PlayStation version, but we did not get the Saturn version. Thanks for rubbing into my face. All right, I'm gonna jump into an arcade mode and see what happens. Arcade mode. Let's see, class and track. Well, what better than to start it off easy? So let's see what I do. Let's see what happens.
Three,
2, 1, go. Whenever there's a funny voice, I have to make a mockery of it. That was too close. You were almost a WipEout sandwich.
yes, I'll.
Still got to get used to how I use weapons, however. I imagine running over those boosters, well, not the blue ones, but, oh, somebody wants me dead. Still getting used to how weapons work, also.
Yes,
How did I manage to win that? So somehow, by some miracle, I took first place on that last one. Let's see if I'm doing any better this time. Oh, Peter, it appears to be relatively smooth, but it's hard for me to compare because I know it's practically sacrilegious, but I've never actually played the original WipEout. So it's hard for me to compare. It seems smooth enough. finally starting to feel a little bit better in my hands. I wish I could stay off the walls, though. Ooh, nighttime. Well, not really, just a tunnel. Ugh. I was just about dead right there. Somehow I'm still alive here, despite not doing so well in the race. Yeah, looks like I ruined that one. Nope, we're done with that one. How much worse could I be at the expert one? I probably don't have a shot in the dark. Two, one, go. Oh, did not anticipate that turn. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. I can try one more time. Two, one, go. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Let's see. Wonder if this ship will do me any better. 2, 1, go. Well, looks like I'm learning a lesson easy here. When you make a turn, take your thumb off the effing accelerator. Oh, looks like I'm finally starting to understand how this works here. Well, at least I finished that time. We'll try one more time. 2, 1, go. the end of that. Alright, so that's WipEout 2097 for the most part. Let me see if I can get the first one to boot up. I was having trouble with it. Yeah, this game does not want to boot for some reason. So, I guess we'll have to move on and do something else. We'll put 2097 back in. Seconds, let it boot up. Now we'll just sit back and enjoy ourselves.
Three, two, one, go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Actually got a perfect lap in there. I wonder what that consists of. Probably clearing without hitting the walls.
Three, two, one, go. Energy low.
I'm probably asking to kill myself by selecting this, but I'll give it another try.
Three, two, one, go. Energy low.
Let's see how badly this goes.
Three, two, one, go. Autopilot engaged. Three, two, one, go. Missile. Rocket. Mines. Electromobility. Missile.
Well, it's nice when that works out.
Three, two, one, go.
Hopefully I'll do a little better this time. Now that I've played the game a bunch, and hopefully I can anticipate the turns better. But hitting that wall would say otherwise.
Auto finalized engage. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Auto finalized engage. Electrical bills. Lions. Shield energy low. Yes, I know.
Well, no medal on that one. Unlike the last one, I've actually been able to finish the first two.
Three, two, one, go.
Bad luck on that part.
3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, we're going to give this one last try and call it good.
2, 1, go. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Alright, looks like we can finish up and wrap up this one. so I can turn the camera around real quick and do a quick review. There we go. So yeah, that was WipEout 2097, my first real exposure to it, because we never got a release of it in the United States. Sorry that I couldn't get the original WipEout to work. I don't know what was going on there, some sort of technical difficulty. Anyway, yeah, that's my first exposure to WipEout 2097, and I obviously can't make a comparison of any kind because that's the only one I've ever played on that platform. So as far as game recommendations go, it's not a game that I can recommend in good faith. Particularly because if you were watching me playing, you could see how I was swinging back and forth, how I couldn't stay off the walls, and that's a big race breaker. When you're playing a racing game, just clear the corners and turns, and try to maintain a steady speed, so you have a better shot at winning the race. And as you could see, I was getting smacked along the walls constantly, like a pinball machine to the bumpers, like a pinball to bumpers. Just couldn't stay off the walls. Probably because I'm not accustomed to floaty physics, like what WipEout has, which feel very floaty and loose. Where I prefer racing games where I'm grounded and I can grip the road, like Virtua Racing or Daytona, games like that. Need for Speed High Stakes was another one that I played a lot. That was an enjoyable racing game for me. That one I can't recommend in good faith if you're not used to floaty physics. As you could clearly see, I am not used to floaty physics. I do not adapt well to that kind of environment or those kind of controls. Another one that I had trouble with, but still enjoyed the game all the same because of its charm, was Wave Race 64 on the Nintendo 64. A jet ski game which understandably has floaty physics because you're on water. So that made sense to me, even though I think I still had a struggle with that. Floaty physics like that I tend to struggle with. So if you're good with those kind of physics, then you would like this game. But for me personally, and anyone who's not good with floating physics, I can't recommend it in good faith. Because if you were anything like me, you're going to have a lot more trouble than benefit playing WipEout than you would enjoy it. So yeah, that was the run. Sorry I couldn't get the original to work again. I don't know what happened there, but at least we got one of the games to work. I wanted to do a back-to-back, play one and then play the other, but it didn't work out that way. I'm sorry to say, I don't know why. But for what it's worth, I hope you enjoyed the run, even though I was terrible at it. And I hope my review gave you some insight, positive or negative. So I will see you all next time for the next gameplay vid, whatever that may be. All right, bye-bye now.